Jai Hind and welcome to today's chemistry class. In the previous class, we discussed about stoichiometric defects. In this class, we will first discuss about impurity defects. Impurity defects means these defects in ionic crystals arises due to the presence of some impurity ions in the place of host ions at the lattice site. These defects can be explained on the basis of one example. If molten NaCl containing a little amount of strontium chloride as impurity is crystallized, some of the sites of Na plus ions are occupied by Sr2 plus ions. Each Sr2 plus replaces two Na plus ions. It occupies the site of one ion and other site remains vacant. The cationic vacancies thus produced are equal to the number of Sr2 plus ions replaced. Another example is molten AgCl containing a little amount of cadmium chloride as impurity. Next, the third type of point defect is non-stoichiometric defects. These are defects which disturb the stoichiometric composition of the crystal. These are of two types: metal excess defects and metal deficiency defects. Then, these metal excess defects are again classified into two types: metal excess defect due to anionic vacancies and metal excess defects due to the presence of extra cations at interstitial sites. First, we will discuss about metal excess defect due to anionic vacancies. This can be explained with the help of an example. When crystals of NaCl are heated in an atmosphere of sodium vapor, the sodium atoms are deposited on the surface of the crystal. The Cl minus ions diffuse to the surface of the crystal and combine with the sodium atoms to give NaCl. This happens by loss of electron by sodium atoms to form Na plus ions. The released electrons diffuse into the crystal and occupy the anionic sites. Anionic sites occupied by unpaired electrons are called F centers, from the German word Farben-Center for color center. They impart yellow color to the crystal of NaCl. The color results by the excitation of these unpaired electrons when they absorb energy from the visible region. This can be easily explained through this small video. Similarly, lithium chloride crystal is heated in presence of lithium vapor, looks in pink color, and potassium chloride crystal is heated in presence of potassium vapor, looks in violet or lilac color. Next defect is metal excess defect due to the presence of extra cations at the interstitial sites. This can be explained on the basis of an example. Zinc oxide is generally white in color at room temperature. On heating, it loses oxygen and turns yellow in color. On heating, the following reactions takes place. Zinc oxide gives Zn2 plus half O2 plus 2 electrons. These electrons and Zn2 plus ions are very small and these are occupied in the interstitial positions and the oxygen become escaped. Due to the presence of these electrons, it absorbs energy from the visible region and looks in yellow color. So, metal excess defects are over. Then next last one is metal deficiency defect. There are many solids which contains less amount of metal as compared to the stoichiometric proportion. A typical example of this type is FeO, iron oxide, which is mostly found with a composition of Fe 0.95O. In this crystal of FeO, some Fe2 plus ions are missing and the loss of positive charge is neutralized by the presence of required number of Fe3 plus ions. Other examples for crystals showing metal deficiency defects are iron sulfide, nickel oxide and titanium oxide. Next, we move on to the another topic of this chapter, calculations involving unit cell dimensions. In this area, we calculate the density of the unit cell by using the following equation. D is equal to Zm by A cube Na, where D is the density of the unit cell, Z is the effective number of particles, M is the molar mass or atomic mass, A is the edge length and Na is the Avogadro number. By using this equation, we can calculate the density, molar mass, edge length, etc. of the following unit cells. Using this equation, we can solve some problems. First question, X-ray diffraction studies show that copper crystallizes in an FCC unit cell with edge length of 3.608 into 10 raised to minus 8 centimeter. In a separate experiment, copper is determined to have a density of 8.92 gram per centimeter cube. Calculate the atomic mass of copper. In the case of FCC lattice, the number of atoms per unit cell Z is equal to 4 atoms. Then here edge length A is equal to 3.608 into 10 raised to minus 8 centimeter. And density is also given, D is equal to 8.92 gram per centimeter cube. So, by using the equation D is equal to Zm by A cube Na. From this equation, we can write M is equal to D A cube Na divided by Z. Here we know Z is equal to 4, A is equal to 3.608 into 10 raised to minus 8, D is equal to 8.92 gram per centimeter cube, then Na is equal to 6.022 into 10 raised to 23. This is per mole, this is Avogadro number. Then substitute the values, then we get 8.92 into 3.608 into 10 raised to minus 8 the whole cube into 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 divided by 4. For easy calculation, the numbers are taken together and the exponential terms are taken together. So 8.92 into 3.608 the whole cube into 10 raised to minus 8 the whole cube, which is equal to 10 raised to minus 24 into 6.022 into 10 raised to 23. Then divided by 4. Then on solving the exponential, a raised to m into a raised to n is a raised to m plus n, that is 10 raised to minus 24 into 10 raised to 23, which is equal to 10 raised to minus 1. Then on solving the problem, then we get the answer 63.1 gram per mole. The next question, an element has a body-centered structure with an edge length of 288 picometer. The density of the element is 7.2 gram per centimeter cube. How many atoms are present in 208 gram of the element? Here the given data are, it is a BCC lattice, so the effective number of particles Z is equal to 2 and the edge length is 288 picometer. That means the density is given in gram per centimeter cube, so the edge length is also converted into centimeter. So picometer is converted into centimeter, then it become multiplied by 10 raised to minus 10. Then we get edge length A is equal to 288 into 10 raised to minus 10 centimeter. Next, density is equal to 7.2 gram per centimeter cube. For solving this problem, first we calculate the volume of unit cell, which is equal to A cube, which is equal to 288 into 10 raised to minus 10 the whole cube. Then 288 the whole cube into 10 raised to minus 10 the whole cube. Then on solving these numericals, then we get 2.39 into 10 raised to minus 23. This is the volume of unit cell. Then next step, we calculate the volume of 208 gram of the element. Here mass is given 208 gram and the density is also given 7.2 gram per centimeter cube. Then we know density is equal to mass by volume. Then volume of 208 gram of the element is equal to mass by density, which is equal to 208 gram divided by 7.2 gram per centimeter cube. Then we get 28.88 centimeter cube. So from the value of volume of unit cell and the volume of 208 gram of element, we can calculate the number of unit cells. The number of unit cells in the volume is equal to the volume of 208 gram of element divided by the volume of unit cell, which is equal to 28.88 divided by 2.39 into 10 raised to minus 23 equals 12.08 into 10 raised to 23 unit cells. Then the BCC unit cells contains 2 atoms. Therefore, the total number of atoms in 208 gram is equal to 2 into 12.08 into 10 raised to 23 unit cells, which is equal to 24.16 into 10 raised to 23 atoms. So the next question, copper crystallizes into FCC lattice with edge length 3.61 into 10 raised to minus 8 centimeter. Calculate the density of copper. Given copper 63.5 gram per mole molar mass and Avogadro number 6.022 into 10 raised to 23. First, you should write the given data as edge length is equal to 3.61 into 10 raised to minus 8 centimeter. And for FCC lattice, Z is equal to 4, molar mass of copper 63.5 gram per mole and Avogadro number 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 particles per mole. Here the formula to be used is D is equal to Zm by A cube Na. Then this is a direct question. All values are given. Then substitute the values in the equation. D is equal to 4 into 63.5 divided by 3.61 into 10 raised to minus 8 the whole cube into 6.022 into 10 raised to 23. Then on solving these values, then we get the value 8.96 gram per centimeter cube. This is the answer. So today's class is over. Thank you.